Welcome to Greendialer training. In this lesson, I'm going to explain how to use the telephony area. I'm going to cover global count of lines, assigning or unassigning lines on campaigns, stopping campaigns, and starting campaigns. So I have a live system ready to test. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import my own record into the database multiple times. I just want to do this so I can show you the example of how you have the ability to start and stop a campaign after it starts running. Okay, so that should be good enough. So I'm going to go to the telephony area, and I'm on the campaign test and billing system. And you will see here there are so many IVR systems added to this campaign as we use this campaign for testing purposes. So I've got all 50 IVRs that we have in our data center assigned on this campaign. So one thing to explain is your global count of lines. This is how many lines we've licensed you to use out of the available pool of lines that we have below. So in this case, I have 200 assigned lines. And my total used lines for my account is 10. And my total remaining lines is 90. If we go to the account, the campaigns page, that should make sense. You notice we got assigned lines. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've assigned 10 lines on the account total. So if we come back here, that makes sense that there's 10 used lines, 190 remaining, and there's 200 total licensed lines. Now, that lets you know what you have available to use as a limit for your account. But below that, you can set the line usage for the selected campaign above. When setting the line usage, you actually have to look on a telephony system uh, by telephony system basis, meaning that each dialer may have certain amounts of lines available based upon what other customers are doing in my system. So, in this case, we have 99 available lines to use in this dialer. So there may be 21 other telephone lines being assigned somewhere else in the system. So you could assign 99 lines total, but you can't assign 100. So remember, if you're doing a transfer campaign, you're going to have this option for agent lines. If you're not doing a transfer campaign, you won't even see this option. So we have to assume that we're doing a transfer campaign here. So if I want to use the remainder of lines in this system, I could put 90 lines calling and maybe 4 lines bridging, 5 lines bridging for my agents. Then I'd come down here and I'd submit the page and it would start calling all the records. But for this test, I just want to set 1 line to dial and 0 lines for bridging. Because I'm not even going to transfer. I just want to get my phone to ring so I can show you how the system enters, when it enters into a running status, how the status will change. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to update this page. It tells me my assigned lines and the dial have been updated. See, it says unscheduled, right? Well, I'm going to click on any link. And it's already partially running. It would have been to a scheduled status, and then it would have went to partially running. But in this case, I took a few seconds to explain. So by the time I updated the page, it was already running. Okay, it says 5 records processed without success. And I know why, because it's a back-end system. And I'm supposed to add the 1 before the number. This is something we handle on our live systems behind the scenes. But in this case, I'm going to have to put a 1 before the number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to put these numbers in here again. My phone should start to ring pretty soon. You notice how it entered a scheduled status because it was finished running all the data. And it would have went to complete soon after that. So I have a call coming in. And I'm going to answer the call. So it's actually processing the record. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the telephony system. And this is what I'm talking about. The stop button appears. Right? So I'm going to click on stop. and you have to click two more windows here. You click on go, and then you get a confirmation message. Close the window. So now I've just stopped my campaign. So I'm going to hang up the call that I'm currently on because it's not going to actually hang up all the calls that are live. It's going to let your system process what's in the queue. So I've just stopped the system. Let's go to the summary page to confirm. You can see that there's 2 dials remaining and that there's 0 records being processed. So it has stopped, and you notice the status has changed also to partially stopped. So in this case, it's a live campaign. See, this campaign is live. It's got assigned lines, it's got a start date, it's got an end date, it's got a schedule. It's within the scheduled time, so it should be running. Yet it stopped because I went manually into the system and clicked on stop. So if you come back here, you notice how the button now says start. So I can actually start the campaign back up on its own. So I'm basically saying I want to let the schedule take over again, and I'm going to let the schedule decide when to stop the campaign. I've put it back into a running state. So first it goes to scheduled, and now it goes to running. That's why I clicked on the link so we could see the update. And I got the call coming in. I answer the call, and I'm going to hang up the call. And I'll probably have another call come in after. I believe there's one more record to be processed. So that is how your line assignments work. When a campaign's running, you can. I've already got the other call coming in. I'm gonna answer this and hang up. Okay, all set. So the campaign now at this point entered back to scheduled because it's already completed. So if I go to the summary page, and we actually have to check the summary page before the campaign will enter a completed status. But you'll notice that if I come back to campaigns now, this is now a completed campaign. I need to reset the data in order to run this campaign. So let's come back and let's actually do this test. I want to give a little bit more information here. So I'm going to come back to reset call results. And this has been in some earlier videos. I'm going to reset all the records. Okay, now it was completed. Now it's partially scheduled. And it's actually going to start running. Now it's running. See, I reset the records. It started running on its own because the schedule met all the requirements. So let's say you don't want the campaign to start. If you have a completed campaign in which you want to reset call results, and you do not want the campaign to start up, then you want to change your assigned lines to 0. Now I get all my phones ringing here because I just reset my list here. But after it finishes running, it will enter back into complete. And if I wanted to stop it from running, there's a second way we can do that. We can stop it manually by clicking stop, or if we really want to, put the lines to 0, come to the bottom of the page, hit submit, and that will unschedule your campaign. So now there's no way this campaign's running again. So it's very important to understand the relation of your campaign line assignments and how they affect your global status, and how you can maneuver your campaigns in and out of the global status. And this concludes this video.